Okay, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back in to the regular guys DFS show, Picks and Parlays version part 2 on this Wednesday. We put one out earlier for our Major League Baseball picks for the early games that started today, and we're going to cover now our Major League Baseball picks for later in the evening. But if you haven't signed up for Prize Picks yet, make sure you do so, guys. I'm going to flip over to the Prize Picks board here pretty soon. It's not just Major League Baseball you can play. You got so many options to play right now. And if you sign up using our code REGULAR, or you just click on the banner that you see right here in the video, you're going to get a dollar for dollar match up to $100 on your first deposit. So it's a lot of fun. It's basically just playing prop bets on guys' statistics, and it's like playing them in a parlay format. So instead of drawing a casino or sports book or whatever, to have to get your bets in, where I live here in Nebraska, I can't just go to a casino. I have to drive 55 miles to Iowa to place an actual wager. So this is much better for me. You can get on the action every day, and you don't even have to leave the comforts of your own home. So make sure you sign up for Prize Picks. Again, if you use our code REGULAR, or if you just click the banner in the video, you get a dollar for dollar match up to $100. Also, before we get into our picks for today, please, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button down below, I'd also appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we put out a new video. We're going to have a string of videos coming out here as we dig deeper into some NFL futures, which we're going to do on Prize Picks. Sneaking up on that NFL preseason. I think it's tomorrow night, and regular season will be here before you know it. Also, make sure you give me a follow, please, at Sando DFS on Twitter, at Sando DFS. That's where I put out any updates throughout the day, what we're going to be releasing on the videos, when the new videos release, any changes that I feel like need to be made or are necessary. I put them out on Twitter, so make sure you're following me there, again, at Sando DFS. So we're going to cover a couple things in this video. We're going to start off with our Prize Picks plays for Major League Baseball tonight. Major League Baseball pitchers is what I've been focusing on. And then for those of you who have been following the channel for our regular daily show, where we were doing NBA DFS picks, we're going to do Olympic basketball tonight. We're down to the semifinals in Olympic basketball, and we're going to take a swing on DraftKings over there. So we'll put together a lineup or two and see what you guys think of it. So let's get started here. I'm going to flip over to the Prize Picks board, and as I show you guys, look up here. This is esports PGA, which starts tomorrow morning. NFL stuff for Thursday. We've got NFL futures. We've just got all kinds of things. Here's futures that I'm on right now: rushing, passing, receiving, passing TDs, all kinds of stuff. Heck, we can do CFL if you're up in Canada or you follow the CFL. Major League Baseball pitchers, PGA, Olympic soccer, just all kinds of things, guys. So please click on the banner, get signed up, get your free money, and let's get rolling. And you can play along with us here on the regular guy show every day as we put out, the picks that we like for the day. I'm going to switch back over here to Major League pitchers. Late version. Who do I like in the late version? Okay, let's start with, let's make sure I get the right time here. Jameson Taillon, I believe, is where I started. Yeah, for the New York Yankees. Look, I don't love this number, but my lean is going to be under as long as it stays at 5.5. In his last 5 outings, he's had 5, 4, 3, 4, and 9. I've also learned, I think, earlier today, if you get it right on the number here at Prize Picks, you don't get credit for a push. We had, who played earlier today? I think it was the Reds starting pitcher. His name is escaping me. His number was over or under 7. I played him over 7. He landed directly on 7, and I'm not getting the green symbol on Prize Picks. So apparently we're not going to get a push total. You're going to have to be over or under the number. So that's another piece of advice I'm going to give going going forward here, I'm not going to play guys with whole numbers. I'm going to play guys that have the half numbers, and that way there's no confusion. Obviously no one can get a half of a strikeout. So in the future, I think that's going to be my recommendation with Prize Picks. Is we're going to just play the guys that have the half number. Stay away from the solid number because it doesn't look like we're going to get a push out of it, which is unfortunate. But anyway, so that's my first pick of the day. The picks that I like the most here, I'll just go over the two or three that I really like. New York Mets. Where is he? Where is he? There he is, Carlos Carrasco. I like him over 4.5. Here's why. He had 4 Ks last outing, but that was his first start, I believe, of the season. It was his last. He only threw 58 pitches in his first start of the season. He's coming off of injury. Okay, so he had 4 Ks. And they limited him to 58 pitches. I assume they're going to stretch him out a little more today. So, I think he got 3.5 innings or whatever because he was on a pitch count because he's coming off injury. I assume they're going to stretch him out a little more than that today. So at 4.5, if he had 4 in his first outing, I'm pretty comfortable he can get one more strikeout. I understand he's playing a different team, but just the length of his outing today should be longer, and that makes me lean over the 4.5 strikeouts. So, he's one of my favorite plays. Kobe Allard from Texas. Allard, I'm not sure how you say it. Where's his number? 4.5. He's lost his last 7 starts in a row, and his ERA has just ballooned. And in his last 5, he struck out 3, 5, 1, 3, and 9. So 5 starts ago, he had 9. 2 starts ago, he had 5, which would put him over the number. But before that, 3, 1, and 3. Again, he seems to not be pitching very well. Seems to be not in very good form. So I'm going to take the swing on Kobe Allard tonight, and I'm going to go under his 4.5. Let's find Mr. Gray, John Gray from Colorado. Let's see if his number's still the same as earlier. Yep, 5.5. I'm going to lean over. I'm not making it a solid play that I love. But his last 4, let's see, in his 4, 4, 7, and 7 in his last 4. But this pitching staff's kind of been depleted. He has 8 games of 8 and 10 strikeouts also in his last 10. So depleted. I'm having trouble reading my handwriting. They're playing a Cubs team that's absolutely been depleted. They got gutted, as you guys all know, during the free agency period. So for him to get an extra strikeout or 2 against the Cubs, I think is pretty feasible tonight. So I'm going to lean John Gray over. The other one that I really like here, Zach Gallen from Arizona, 8, 5, and 7 in his last 3 starts, but 2 of his last 10 outings have been against San Francisco, and he's only had 3 strikeouts in both of those games. So his last 2 against San Francisco, he's had 3 strikeouts per game. They're playing San Francisco again tonight. His number is 6. I am very comfortable playing Zach Gallen under that number. Mills from Chicago, 3.5 seems pretty low, but I would lean under. He's been 0-1 in his last 2. He's at Coors Field tonight. Definitely a lean under on Mills. And then the other one I looked at was Ordozzi from Houston. I've got a pretty strong lean under on him as well. Number is 4. In his last 5, he's had 3, 6, 1, 4, and 2. So, recapping. I like Gallen from Arizona quite a bit. I like Carrasco from the Mets. Colby Allard I like quite a bit. And then the other ones that I lean on, John Gray over, Mills under, and Ordozzi from Houston under. that's our Prize Picks plays of today, Major League Baseball for the evening games. Again, get signed up at Prize Picks. It's a ton of fun. And you can make some significant money here doing it. That's why I put these videos out, guys. We're here to make money. We're not just here to have a blast. Yeah, it's cool. It's very convenient, and you can make real money here. So those are the picks for today for Prize Picks. Get signed up. Click that banner down there. Get your free money and play along with us, or pick a different sport that we didn't cover today. Plenty of options for you guys out there. Let's switch over now to a little bit more of what we had been doing earlier in the year when the NBA season was in full swing. Let's make our fantasy lineups for Olympic basketball coming up tonight in the semifinals. Okay, a couple of very interesting things here. I got to get a drink. As I looked and went through to build some of these lineups, first thing that struck me is I get to the power forward position, and I've got 4 options. Okay, and as you see, a couple of them probably aren't great options, although I am going to use one of them in this first lineup I'm going to build for you. So, shooting guard, another example. There's a big gap between some of the top guys and the salaries here. And then who else did I notice? The centers. Pretty good options at centers that you can help even out these lineups, because I got a couple of guys that I want to play, that are pretty expensive. But keep in mind your power forward option. You've got 4 options, and only one of them is above 6,500. So Draymond Green at 6,500, and he's probably not a guy that I'm going to be looking to. So here's where you're going to pretty much have to play value and just hope that it comes through. So my strategy for tonight, I'm going to play 2 lineups. We're going to build the first one together. We're down to the semifinals. Luka Doncic had a great first game and has cooled off a little bit the last 2, but we're now in the semifinals, and they're playing France, who, if it's not the USA, I would think France would probably have been the favorite to win the gold medal here. I think Luka's going to have to be a lot more involved than he has been in the past. This price tag sucks. 13-4 sucks, but I am going to build a lineup that goes studs and scrubs, and I'm going to start with Luka. I'm just not going to have him out of too many lineups just in case he goes off. So while I'm doing that and going full studs and scrubs, I'm going to go ahead and go over here and just go ahead and put Durant in as well. Durant's under 10K, which is good. Durant in the last 2 games seems to have found his stride with his team. I think he has asserted himself as kind of the dominant player now for the U.S., and I think as we get into the semifinals and the finals, if they beat Australia tonight, I think we're going to be seeing Kevin Durant shoulder much more of the load, take more of the responsibility, and he's been answering the bell lately. He has definitely been the go-to guy for the USA the last 2 games. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in with Luka, and then just try and build something with minimal salary around him. And here's what I came up with. I'm going to go back to Slovenia. Mr. Prepelic, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce all these names right. If you notice, he's averaged 24.8 a game. He seemed to be, him and Zoran Dragic have seemed to be the other 2 main guys from Slovenia. But, I mean, their center, Mike Toby, has been good. I wouldn't have any problem playing Jaka Blazic. So I landed in this one on Prepelic. He seems to get the most minutes. Power forward, here's that area that we're at. I'm just going to go with this guy, Yabusele, I think is his name. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce these French names right. But because we went with Luka and Durant, I can't get to Draymond, and I'm not sure I love Draymond anyway. So this guy from France, I might be leaning on quite heavily in the 2 or 3 lineups that I put in tonight. My center for this lineup has been very consistent. I have no problem going to him. Jock Landale from Australia going up against the U.S. tonight. I don't know how much defensive resistance he's going to get. We haven't been a great defensive team. I expect he could have a pretty good game tonight. So very comfortable with Landale from Australia at my center position. Okay, this is where it gets a little You know, we got 3,900 left, and frankly, guys, if you just look at the utility position and you just simply base it off of fantasy points per game throughout these Olympics, you get under $4,000, 4,200 really, and you just don't have anything that looks like a super value, you know. But we got to play somebody, so I landed on. Where is he? Starts with a C. Well, let's just skip him and I'll come back to him. No, it's this guy. It's this guy. Hortle, whatever. I'm going to play him. 18.1 average per game. Let's just look at his minutes real quick. Yeah, 23 and then 15, then 24, only 15 in the blowout against Iran. So he's getting significant enough minutes for the Olympics. Again, these are 40-minute games, guys. They're not 48-minute games like the NBA. They're only 40-minute contests. So the minutes can get a little bit skewed when you look at it and go, gosh, he's only playing 23 out of 48. No, it's only a 40-minute game. So keep that in mind when you're building these lineups. So we're going to go ahead and put him in here. We could do it. We could put TLC in there because we're going to. Okay, well, it put in there. That's fine. At guard, I'm going to play TLC out of France. He's been pretty dependable the last 2 games. His fantasy point per games have come up, as you see. So he's my guard. And then that leaves me, I got to go to a min salary guy. So I landed on this guy from France, this Cornelia guy. Played 11 minutes last game and scored 11 fantasy points. This is a dart throw. And this is what's going to happen tonight if we try and jam too many studs in at the top. Lucas' price is crazy at $13,000. I mean, he's $1,500 more at least than the next guy. So if we're going to try and put him in with another stud, we're going to end up on something like this. Maybe the guy gets 15 minutes and scores 18 fantasy points tonight. I don't know. He got 5 and 2 the one before. I'm not totally confident about it. And again, it's just what we're going to have to live with right now with this pricing and these positions. You know, in the NBA, we're used to having most guys, especially on DraftKings. I don't know about FanDuel or Yahoo, but most guys having dual eligibility at a lot of positions, and that's just not the case here. It's single eligibility at most positions. So that's the line. I'm going to put this lineup in the tournament tonight, guys. So if you want to follow me along with it, let's see what happens. I am putting this lineup in. The other strategy that we're going to look at is, and I'm not going to build it out, but very simply, it makes sense to go to more of a, more average salary and not try and jam too many studs in. Again, Lucas, 13,400. That's $3,000. Yeah, 2,800 more than the next highest guy. So I'm definitely going to build a couple of lineups without Luka because I don't know. You might necessarily not need him tonight. I'm just going to make sure he's in one of my lineups in case he flips out and scores 50. But again, so the way I will build the second lineup is in with guys like Patty Mills or Mike Tobey at center. If we just go to the guards here, we've got great options here. Patty Mills has been great. Let's see. Evan Fournier has been very good from France. Dame Lillard, guys, I'm going to stay away from him and all. And one other thing, Dame just hasn't played that well lately. In the last 2 games, he hasn't been making shots, and his minutes have gone way down. So if I'm going to play another American tonight, that's what else I wanted to touch on. I am going to play Drew Holiday. In fact, I guarantee you, I'm going to have a lineup with Drew Holiday in it. Him and Durant seem to be the guys that are kind of taking control of this team as we get later in this tournament. And again, Lillard's shot just hasn't been there. His minutes have started to come down. He started off pretty well, but I'm not going to go to Dame, especially not at 10K when I can get Drew Holiday for $2,400, $2,600 cheaper, and I think he's a much better play tonight. Other Americans that I would be willing to play tonight, let's just go ahead and do that. I'm not going to play a ton of them, I'll be honest with you. Zach LaVine has still been getting over 20 minutes a game, so he's a pretty decent option. Tatum's kind of been up and down. But I think as we get into the semifinals and finals, I would say that Tatum is probably the number 3 guy that I would look at and be comfortable playing. But right now, I'm mainly just focusing on Durant and Holiday as the 2 USA guys. So that's how I would build out my second lineup, guys, is just, finding some value amongst, as you look, Zoran Dragic from Slovenia has been great. 27.8 average. Nico DeColo from France, 28.1. We only really have room for 4 guard spots, and a lot of these guards that have been doing so well have been point guards. So shooting guard has been a little bit tougher to fill, but that's what my second lineup will look like. It won't have Luka in it. It might not have Durant in it, and I'm going to go with more of these foreign guys that are playing the higher minutes and are producing at a pretty high rate. So follow along with me if you want to, guys. That's how I'm going to approach it tonight. We only got a couple of these left, so I'm definitely going to play them. Hopefully you guys are too, and we'll see what happens. So that's going to be it for today's show, guys. Again, before we get out of here, please, I appreciate it. Mean a lot to me if you'd hit the like button, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified on our new videos, and please give me a follow on Twitter at SandoDFS. Good luck to everybody tonight on both Prize Picks and DK on any contest you're playing, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.